everybody. It's the Monica Makes It Happen digital show. We're doing this daily for you. And on Wednesdays today, we are giving. It is all about giving. And thanks to our partners, and that is Goya. Goya Gives. If you haven't done it already, make sure to attach or like or check it out at Goya Gives. They are incredible. And we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways, not just right here on digital and social media, but also on TV too. I always joke that we do TV too, because this is one of my favorite places. And my producer, Joe, and I are going to be hopefully making a big impact this year and giving some incredible things away. Stay tuned. But for the first debut show, I can't believe I got this guest. I got a commissioner, folks. I got the ACS commissioner, a friend of our show. Talk about giving to our children. Thank you, Commissioner, for being here. Now, ACS, just so if you don't know, hi, how are you? How are you?
Good to see you.
I want to let people know what that stands for. So ACS stands for the New York City Administration for Children's Services. And, you know, Jess, you've been such a champion for our children since the very beginning. And I just want people to know that it continues. The work is like 24/7. You never give up. And you're pulled to action. It's not pushed. You're like, it's this pull that you have for children. And there's this incredible new program called SoulCare, right? And I love that name, first of all, because we don't talk about our soul very much. We talk about all the physical needs we may have, but not a lot of times about the soul care. So what a great thing. We're going to talk to you. We're going to talk to someone from mental health from our city, the bigger picture. And then we're going to talk to an actual 18-year-old superstar about how this is working. So our viewers are going to get a lot from this show. But first, Commissioner, tell me about SoulCare.
First of all, thank you, Monica, for having me on and for all that you do to lift young people in our city up. Every time we've connected, it's been about young people who inspire us at ACS every day. SoulCare comes out of a lot of work that we've been doing for years around fair futures, providing coaches to young people. And part of our commitment, whether it's college choice or career choice, has been to listen to young people. It's got the great name because we bureaucrats didn't name it. Our young people did. They decided.
I'm glad you said that.
What they need. And they were telling us that, yes, therapy is important. They appreciate having a clinician. But what they really wanted to make sure they also had was a life well lived. I have a mentor who said one of the best therapies is a life well lived. So going to a Broadway show, boxing, going to a community event, these are normal, everyday events that enrich our souls, that enrich our life experience, that connect us to new people. We do better in community. Young people are no different. They are the best community. Many of them have been my community for the last couple decades doing this work. And they inspire us to continue to think. And they've connected us to organizations that are mission aligned, that want to offer support. Again, boxing is one of those opportunities, gym memberships, Broadway shows, whatever young people feel will enrich their lives, we're trying to make happen for them.
I love it. I start punching the air here. You know, I love it. The future boxers. It's so important especially for young women. I love martial arts for young women. My daughter does that. But you're such a leader with a vision that's so deep. And last time I saw you, I think was at a graduation of some young people. But, you know, you did this, you pushed for this pilot. And everyone watching is probably thinking this is something that should be citywide everywhere. So we're hoping that that's what happens soon. Maybe after somebody special watches this, because you're looking for partners, right? I always love triple wins where my viewers get something, where our partners get something. And of course, we're producing content that's helping our community, right? Rise to another level. And that's what this is about. So you're looking for a few good partners to partner with the city.
Absolutely. And we're so lucky that this is really a citywide commitment. The Mayor's Office of Community Mental Health has been an enormous partner in getting this off the ground. And we're looking for partners all across the 5 boroughs who can provide avenues for young people to succeed, to get in enrichment activities, and who are looking to build communities of young people. So if you're out there and you started a new nonprofit, or your community organization has space for young people to have some of these experiences, please do reach out to us. We want to keep building the portfolio of what's available through SoulCare.
Uh-oh, you better get ready for the people to reach out, because we have the best viewers who always want to partner. I always feel like it happens on the show, which is great. You know what I want to talk to you about, and this might seem like an off to the side kind of thing, but I love this about you, is we always talk about trauma with our kids, trauma, but you're focusing on the joy. Is that right?
It is. It's so important that we understand the trauma that young people have experienced who are in foster care, but they don't need to be defined by their early life experience. It matters, right? We have to understand it. We have to help them heal. But we heal in joy. We heal in community. We heal in ways in which where there's agency for young people to choose their pathway. I think so much of the initial reason for this, young people like Jamel Robinson, who have been calling for change in our system for a long time, said we shouldn't have to just choose from, a list of clinicians or therapy types. We should have access to all of the ways in which we can enrich our lives and heal. And so it doesn't replace therapy, but it provides a joyous opportunity to come together in community. And I think it's important that we focus on both, that it is not just because you've had a trauma, which so many people have experienced. It doesn't mean that that is your defining life experience. It can be one that you can overcome. And when you overcome that, even if that's a daily thing that you continue to overcome, you grow in confidence, you grow in the ability to be in relationship with one another. And so this is about getting young people in foster care everything they need. That has been our mission at ACS, that it's not just one dimension of their life, but they are extraordinarily capable. They are our future city leaders, and we want them to have all the experiences that they need to be able to enrich themselves and to grow in that way.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you the truth here, because this is like digital and I love it. And we can just speak the truth here. I've known a lot of ACS commissioners. I know I look so young and vibrant, but you are probably the most joyous ACS commissioner that I've ever met. And I think it starts from the top. It's you're focusing on it and you're leading the way. So I really appreciate your leadership in all of this. And I see it just, it's coming out of your pores that you're joyous about children. And I think that's important for our leaders, especially in the city, the state, and the Fed, just leading the way. So I really appreciate the hard work that you do, because it's part of a bigger mission. And I was trying to explain this to one of my friends, and maybe you can do this in a simple way. It's part of the college choice and career choice. And a lot of people don't realize this, but foster kids can get into college. We can get great kids into college, but to stay in college, that's the struggle, right? And you're there. There's a program there that makes sure that they stay and they feel supported.
And Monica, if I could just say for a quick second, and thank you for that very, very overly generous compliment. But the joy really comes from seeing young people like Jaelen succeed, understanding what they're bringing to this world only can inspire joy. And throughout ACS and all of our partner providers, the Center for Fair Futures, our service providers, there are so many public servants who are doing this job in a way that is so dedicated, so committed. And so they deserve that response out of a leader, because how can you not be inspired by what they do? As far as college choice and career choice, again, this is a whole package. The center of it is a coach through Fair Futures that young people can keep until they're 26 years old.
26 years old, that's 26. Amazing.
Absolutely. Our brains keep developing well into emerging adulthood. And so this person walks alongside our young people, and then they help them to develop plans and create goals. Most of our kids are achieving 3 goals on average each year, whether that's restarting high school or graduating high school or going to college. When we started College Choice a few years ago, there were less than 200 kids in foster care in college. Now there's over 425.
Wait, say that one more time. That's I'm the whole reason for the show is this statistic. Say it one more time.
There was about 190 young people in foster care when we started College Choice at the end of 2022. Today, there are over 425, and that's going to continue to grow. And the city has made an investment so that we can grow that to over 500 this year. But for some young people, college isn't the first step towards a career. They want to do an apprenticeship, or they want to go through our Department of Youth and Community Development and do some work there to make sure that they're building their skills. And they deserve the same thing that we give in College Choice, which is a daily stipend that allows them to focus on learning. You know, for kids who have resources, we freeze time. Go to college and focus on that. Maybe you have a part-time job. We want to do that for kids in foster care. They should too get to focus on growing, developing as young adults, and make sure that they have the space to succeed in college. The results have been our fault. If you hear anyone cite that 3% of kids in foster care graduate from college nationally, that's not a young person problem. That's a system problem.
Yes.
And we are changing that here in New York City.
I mean, you drop the mic. I love that you said the results have been our fault. We have failed the children, and it's time to help. And I love that. I love that. Thank you, Commissioner. I could talk to you all day, but we have two guests waiting for the rest of the show. But boy, did you start off the show powerfully. Thank you. And I can't wait till you come back. You're a regular, right? You'll be a regular on this.
Anytime. And thank you for lifting up our partners, and especially Jaelen, an amazing young person.
I can't help it. The numbers don't lie. What is it? Quadruple the number since this program went into place. So I'm a
fair
believer.
Future, that's right. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. And of course, coming up, we're going to be with the mayor's office. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about the bigger picture and how you can learn more about these incredible programs. That's coming up. All right, now we're back. It's the Monica Makes It Happen Giving Show Wednesdays. Don't forget to always check out at Goya Gives on Instagram and follow us too. We're giving things away. And today it's all about giving to our children. And Eva Wong is here, the executive director. I can't even believe I got her here. The executive director of the Mayor's Office of Community Mental Health. Eva, it's so wonderful to meet you.
Amazing to be here, Monica. Thank you so much for what you do to amplify voices of young people, and that's what I'm here to do as well. So good to be with you.
Right back at you. I mean, we love each other. We can tell already because we're on the same mission to help our children. But you're doing it in a very, very big way. We just spoke to the ACS commissioner about SoulCare. Now, this is a pilot program, so most of our audience is going to say, "What pilot program? This has got to be everywhere." Is that the idea?
That is the idea. So much of what we do at the Mayor's Office of Community Mental Health is just to start with community center solution strategies to address issues that we know have been persistent, but what kind of the traditional way of solving it, maybe when we talk about mental health, maybe the clinical setting, we know those are really important, but the young people told us that that didn't resonate with them completely, right? So what we do in our office is let's come together through this co-design process, hear from the young people. We're at the table together and learn what's the best way young people want us to support them to shape this program. So once we have that, we are testing it through a pilot phase.
Yeah.
And then the idea is to say, hey, there's proof of concept. We need it everywhere. We need other foster care's youth to be a part of this as well.
Now, I love these stories that I'm hearing. And, I'm all about the stories. We're going to save the best for last with the story, this incredible story about a college student that it's really helping. But we're talking boxing and pottery. These are all things that help the entire person, the entire child, right? And you've seen incredible changes because I have kids myself, and when they're interested and you're like feeding the soul, I guess is what we want to say. Tell me about that. Like, how do you do that as the city? And what are you seeing? What type of effects are you seeing?
Mhm. Yes, I think what you already said is these are, and talked with the commissioner earlier, is things that gives you joy, right? And so much of healing and recovery with whatever mental health challenges, just life stresses that we have, is about having that sense of hope, having a sense of agency, and that I want to be engaged in this activity, right? So you talk about the boxing, pottery, and I also know about the hip hop therapy that young
Wait, you
people
have
are
hip
saying that
hop
they want.
therapy? Did you say hip hop
Yep.
therapy? That's a
Yes, I haven't
story.
joined it yet, but I've been waiting to sign up if the young people let me in. Yes.
Yes, but that
Yeah.
is sounds
So.
like great,
Mhm.
great, moments for kids to smile. And, we don't normally talk like this. Do you know what I mean? Like I've covered the city for many, many years. And we don't talk about joy in our children. There's something that's recalibrating, something that's changing. And I don't know if it's me or if it's who is it? What's going on here? Why are we all of a sudden talking about the necessity and the need to fund specifically the joy of foster children?
Mm. Hopefully it means that we're finally getting it, because young people have been telling us, right? And when we are ready to listen to them, there's just so much wisdom that they are sharing with us. So through these different non-traditional ways of doing really mental support, we are really removing those barriers. When, well, I don't know if I want to sit in a room with therapists. I don't know if they're going to get it, right? But when we are bringing them into activity, they're telling us that they enjoy. And through that community building, when they're with other young people, right,
I
also
love
have
it.
lived experience, and they will become really more open to, maybe, okay, this is really giving me more positivity in my life. I'm feeling more sense of control. I have more energy to do other things now.
Mm.
And we can, when we notice that maybe that is needed as well, they will be more open to, okay, I will go sit in a therapy room because I trust you as someone who is caring for me. You're going to connect with me with somebody who's really going to be advocating for me as well, right? Because we know, as you have said earlier as well, young people who are in foster care system, they have so many things that happen in their life that are just difficult and traumatic, right? Whether it is having to move from one place to another, or the foster care system hasn't necessarily in the past, right? We know that it's improving because we have amazing partner in the city and state that have harmed them in different ways. So that kind of disruption to that kind of attachment, to their sense of safety and control, that sense of, I don't know if I can have that agency to do it. So a lot of young people may be in that survival mode, right? Or just kind of thinking, okay, when's the next shoe going to drop, right? And that might be the experience. But we have shifted to say, no, you know what? We want to give young people tools so that they're not needing to just now the tools to manage that chronic stress and anxiety around this instability. And when you get out of the survival mode, you can now start to plan for your future and what are your long-term goals, right? So I think
Ooh,
all these things are connected.
this is great stuff. I like the survival mode. We shouldn't just be surviving, we should be thriving. We hear that
Mm.
all the time, but you're literally doing that. And it's the once, just practically speaking, it's once a month, right? They can choose the activity they want to do. That's what this pilot program is, right? Once a month, they can choose, is it pottery, boxing, like you said, hip hop classes. So they have like a menu of things that they can do. And then, they find joy, like you said, that joy. And then, having my own kids, I know that they don't talk. It's hard to extract information. So when they're like busy having fun and enjoying their life, finally you can start, like, it's a start, it's a beginning. And just a private story that I think it's okay for me to share is I was with the CEO of the Liberty a few months back, and it was some event with incredible children from a homeless shelter. And it was on a weekend. And I remember going, and they asked a simple question, Eva, and I'm sure you can tell me your own story about this. Does anyone need someone to talk to? And they
Mm.
all raised their hand. These were all young women living in our homeless shelters in our city. And it broke my heart because, that's the case, is sometimes you just need a place to land and have community and have a little bit of joy. And then you're able to talk about it, right?
Absolutely. I want to tell you about another really key component of soul care is the young people who are coaches, the youth coaches who also have lived experience themselves. And so through this co-design process, we talk about when we are formulating what soul care needs to be, really of it having vision of amazing Jamal Robinson and other amazing partner, is they have identified 8 aspect, or they call dimension of well-being, and it includes things like identity, physical, emotional, creative, spiritual, social, occupational, environmental. I don't know if I said them all, but these dimensions of well-being or aspect of well-being, young people are saying we want to have ways to strengthen those, right? So what my team has been able to do, and that's just a privilege to do, I'm going to shout out Simone Watson from my team, is to lay the foundation of sort of that clinical understanding of how are these components really interconnected and how they impact a person's mental health, mental well-being. And the coaches, through learning this piece, they are able to meet with a young person, and I'm sure our amazing Jaelen's going to tell you more. Then the young person can identify, actually, maybe I'm not doing as well in this aspect. So if it is in the creative, maybe they would end up choosing pottery and hip hop therapy, right? If it's in another social or occupational, they can select another activity that's going to be resonating to them, and that's going to strengthen that aspect. That's how it all comes together. So someone to talk to with a coach with lived experience, and then being in community doing activities really going to help them bolster that sense of well-being.
You know, when I know it's a great show as time flies, and I could talk to you all day. And Eva Wong, thank you for joining us, the Executive Director of the Mayor's Office of Community Mental Health. Now, Eva, how do we reach you? How do we get more information? Is there like a website we can go to?
Yes, come to our website at mentalhealth.nyc.org, and forgive me if I get that wrong, but that's okay, where you can find a lot of our resources and numbers that you need to call if you find yourself needing help. For example, 988 is still the number that we tell everybody 24/7 to call to talk to a crisis counselor.
What's if the number?
Need help. 988. 988 is the number if you want to call for yourself, 24/7 confidential
how
hotline.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's
now
great.
We do. Now all your viewers do.
I love that. I love learning stuff.
All
like
the
that.
languages you need to speak, right? And if you are looking for referral for somebody else that you really care about, 988 is still also the number.
I got it. I'll never forget that. Thank you, Eva. I'll never forget you. You'll be back on the show. I have a good feeling. And coming up, our superstar, like you said, Jaelen's going to be here. He's actually doing the program, or he signed up for the program, and he's going to tell us why. And we're going to talk about, well, our kids. We're going to talk more about our kids. It's Giving Wednesday. Goya Gives is partnering with us. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. All right, what an epic show so far. I hope you are enjoying it as much as I am. I could probably make this an hour show, but we're going to just stick to the superstar now. I've been teasing this throughout the show. We have Jaelen Padilla here. He is 18 years young, a sophomore. Hi, Jaelen, first of all.
Hi.
Before I start bragging about you, you're a sophomore, again, at Johnson and Wales University, an incredible university in Providence, and you're from Brooklyn. You're a Brooklyn boy.
Yep, born and raised.
Is that what made you who you are today, do you think, coming from Brooklyn?
I believe so. I believe so.
What section of Brooklyn, if I could ask?
Canarsie,
one of my favorites. Yeah. I'm from Chicago originally, so I don't know if most of my viewers know that, but where you come from does matter, but it also is, it catapults you. I always think it catapults you into creating an incredible character for yourself, perseverance, strength. And Jaelen, you're all of the above. What I've heard is that you are, is it called the Youth of the Year? Did you win that?
Yes.
What is that?
So the Youth of the Year is an award given to a youth that shows the most progression in the community. And I won that award in 2024.
Wow. Okay. So you were probably competing against a lot of great community champions. So we have to give you a Pix 11 Community Champion Award. It sounds like I'll talk to Amy. My Amy makes it happen after the show about that with the city. But talk to me about that. I mean, you are, I'd say, an overachiever. How did this happen? Like, how did you become the great man that you are?
Well, if I'm going to be honest, it was a journey and it was a hard step because it took a lot for me to reach where I am today. And I'm going to be honest, with how I reached in college right now, I originally wasn't keen to college. I thought it was just more school. And as a lot of foster kids, or just kids in general, after high school, you hear the words, go to college, do this, it can be great. But it wasn't keen to be. I was more of a schools, I was into school, but school is not, I didn't want to do it for a long period of time, but I did a chance with college choice, and I'm glad I did because I'm enjoying college and I'm enjoying becoming a upcoming computer engineer. And I found college choice to be a great opportunity for me, and it really helped me to become better as a person and where I am today.
Jaelen, I hope JP Morgan Chase is watching. I hope all these employers are watching because I would hire you in a hot second. Um, and yeah, you're in your authenticity and your honesty is so helpful because I think a lot of young people struggle with this and say, I don't want more school. I mean, I just want to go out into the real world. But what you're seeing is there is an incredible payoff because it's a journey of learning colleges, right? And being among your
Yeah.
peers and having time. But a lot of times, let's say the resources, college is so expensive. So it's great to have that support. So why did you sign up for Soul Care in the first place?
Well, I have many reasons for signing up for SoulCare, especially the once a month perk. I would call it a perk because it's a benefit. It's a mental retreat. I would consider it. Like once a month, they were told it said that you can have go to an event for like for your what would you would say mental health. And as a college student, when midterms and finals come around, we all know that is very stressful. So having a little spiritual little retreat or a little time to cool down, I feel that's very necessary. And I found that very important with the soul program. So I find that was my reason for signing up. It might not be the reason for everybody, but I find mental health to be very important. So a little wind down is
Now,
very much needed.
Galen, I did some research before we did this, and there's a quote that I heard that is your quote. You have a quote. Everybody has problems, right? Can you explain that? What do you mean by that?
It's very as simple as it sounds, it's much deeper than that because everyone has their own thing going on. It could be personal, it could be mental. There's just that's just the key of life. No one is born, well, I won't say no one's born perfect because we all are human. If we was all born perfect, the world wouldn't be how it is today, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I say what I said everyone has problems is saying that everyone has their own thing going on. Some people can would try to dismiss it and try to brush it off, but at the end of the day, it's gonna still be a problem. That's why everyone has problems.
Yes, I love that. And it's what you do with those problems, right? You walk through it with courage and being honorable, being an honorable person, and work hard. It's always about working hard. I do this little speed round at the end, and I want to do it with you because I just adore you so much already. Your biggest achievement, Jalen, that you would consider your biggest achievement so far?
Well, my biggest achievement in my eyes, besides winning the Youth of the Year award for 2024, would maintain staying in college. It's very important because after, like, how I said with school, school gets boring and you can struggle, but I didn't use that to as a disadvantage. I'm using it as a motivation to push forward because once I get my college degree, my master's degree in computer engineering, I would feel proud. That's going to be like a great achievement. Working towards
Yes.
that is all achievement itself because you can't get the main goal. You have to start small and work there. So working to
Yes.
that achievement is an achievement in itself.
Wow. Exactly. I wish I knew this at the age of 18. I wish I thought that way as well. I'm just learning myself. Now let's say if I interview you in a few years, who will I see? What will you be doing, Jalen?
Well, hopefully you will see a very mature man. I hope to have a, well, I'm gonna be honest. I hope to be working with my major computer engineering, not high tech yet because it's the next few years, but I have goals to start small and work better. So if you ask me for the next 5 years, realistically, to keep enjoying computer engineering. But if you ask me in the next 10 years, hopefully have my own company, not even just a company, but just have a little workspace that I can have others work with and make it a very safe environment for those that are very interested in their topic.
I love
For
it.
me, computer engineering.
Giving back and being a businessman. Okay. So I'll get the first interview once you're that CEO on NASDAQ. Okay. And ringing the
Of
bell.
course.
I love that. But I love that you have those goals. I think that's so important because I think if you have those goals in mind, I believe in that manifestation stuff. My mom
Yeah.
taught me that before it was cool. She didn't have a high school education, but she knew the power of believing in yourself and having a vision for your life. And Jaelen, you were such a gift to us today. Thank you for doing that. And I always say if one person gets anything from this, it's they can be Jaelen too. They can do what Jaelen's doing and they can be inspired by you. And let's just say if someone's watching that's losing hope, can't afford college, doesn't think it's in their cards, they
Mhm.
also are bored at school. What do you want to tell them?
That that's just abort. It's not seen as a failure. It's just a new door opening. Because I'm not gonna lie, college, I still it takes experience for it to see that it's for you. So if you abort school or just not interested in that, or you just can't financially be there for college, it's okay because there's other things and other ways you can be successful. For example, Bill Gates dropped out of college and look where he is now.
I
There's great
hope the Gates
examples.
Foundation's watching. Exactly.
You,
Yes, yes, yes.
you
But
don't.
Jaelen, you're amazing. You're so inspiring. And I hope somebody's listening. I always hope that we're connecting. That's why we do the show, that someone's watching and that will be inspired to maybe hang in there or take an action that'll change their lives. And you've definitely changed our lives today. I hope that the commissioner and Eva are listening as well. I'm sure they are. So thank you so much, Jaelen. We love you so much. And will you, I guess, come back and just keep us updated on all of your adventures and your business plans? Do you mind? Because we
Of
do follow up
course,
Fridays and
it's a
we
pleasure.
have all these shows. We'd love to stay in touch if we can. Amy makes it happen. Did I already say that? So we're here Giving Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, we're going to be giving to our community. Thanks to Goya. Goya Gives. It's going to be a special Wednesday show every single week. We're doing a daily Monica Makes It Happen digital show right here on all of our platforms and also TV too. Thank you. And it is a we make it happen, right, Jaelen?
Yes.
Yes. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.